Hey everybody. Hey everybody. I'm not going to be long. I have like 10 minutes before I have to walk outside, but I was going to do a video, but I think this is a little bit too much just to do a video. So welcome in if you guys are coming in. My little thing is in the way. Sorry, y'all. I'm going to, good morning, everybody. I'm going to be in Psalms. And I'm going to be in Psalms 27, but I'm also going to skip over to Psalm 68. So hi, I know it's Valentine's Day, so hi everybody. Happy Valentine's Day to people out here. So I'm going to be in Psalms 27, and honestly, I didn't know where I was going to go. I just told God to lead me. And I said, I know that he wants to speak to some people today. And as we know, God is our Father. But I think he needs us to understand how much he is our Father. So when I was asking God, like, where do you want me to go? You know, I'm almost out the door. It's almost time for me to go. Like, God, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? And he directed me to Psalms 27. And the specific thing he said was Psalms 27:10. But I'm going to read a little bit of Psalms 27, and then I'm going to get down to 10, and then I'm going to switch over to Psalms 68, verses 5 and 6. Because he just wants us to spend some time with him today, just so we would know that he's our Father and he dwells with us. And it doesn't matter who leaves us, who goes, who comes, whatever. God is always going to be there. It doesn't matter who leaves out of your life. Let them go. If people can leave, open the door. I am a firm believer in that. And my mom taught me that when I was younger. If someone wants to go to the door, twist the knob and open it and let them go. They can go if they want to go. They can stay if they want to stay, but they're going to stay and be peaceful. They're not going to stay in your life and run amok in your life. They're going to stay and be peaceful, or they can go freely. Open that door and you let people go. Don't you stand there and beg someone to stay. Don't you stay and ask somebody over and over again, why don't you love me? God loves you. God loves you. So today is about knowing your worth and knowing that God is with you. And if they want to go, by golly gee, open that door and let them go. You are worth it. You are more than worthy. And if someone don't see your worth, that doesn't mean that you're not worth it. That means you're better for somebody else. Don't you ever forget it. Don't you ever forget it. Psalms 27. The Lord is my light and salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Whom shall I be afraid of? When the wicked come up against me to eat my flesh, my enemies and my foes, they stumble and they fail. Though an army may encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war may rise against me, in this time I will be confident. Though war should break out against me, in this time I should be confident. No matter what you're facing, know that God is for you. And if God is for you, who can be against you? Absolutely no one. No one. It doesn't matter what you're facing in this lifetime. It doesn't matter what they're saying, if they want to go, if they're saying you're about to be fired. It does not matter. All that matters is God is with you. I don't care what kind of storm you're facing. I don't care how big and raging the storm is. Know that God is with you. Standing in confidence, knowing that God is going to bring you out. If God brought you to it, he's going to bring you through it. He's going to get you out. God will never put you in a situation that you cannot win. That means God has already went before you. He's already went before you and paved the way. The battle is already won. All you got to do is show up to the field. All you got to do is show up. Imagine that. So it said, one thing that I have desired from the Lord, that I will seek, that I may dwell in his house forever, all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. For in the time of trouble, he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret place of his tabernacle, he shall hide me. He shall set me high upon a rock. No matter what you're facing, understand that God is your safety. He's your safety net. It says, under his wings, you will take refuge. God says, come to me. Draw near to me when you're facing trouble. Draw near to me in the day of trouble and watch what happens. Don't worry about who's against you. It matters who's for you. And God is for you. No one can be against you. God is your resting place. God is your hiding place. God is your refuge. When everyone forsakes you, when everything is against you, understand that God is for you. Understand that the battle is won. He just keeps having me repeat this. I don't know who's facing a battle right now, but God is saying the battle is already won. Go in confidence. Go in the strength that you have. Go knowing that God is with you. It reminds me of Gideon when he was a go-face battle, and then he had all these soldiers, and God says, no, that's too many. Whoever lapped water like a dog, that's who you would keep. And like 300 men, I think 300 men is what he kept to go against this major army. And he was like, God, all these people to me. And God is like, go in the strength that you have. But in case you're wondering what's going to happen, he told Gideon to go that night and go and listen by the river. So him and his servant went by the river, and they start talking about this man named Gideon, this mighty man named Gideon that was going to win the battle. Now, Gideon was a nobody that was hiding in a wine press threshing wheat because he was afraid of a battle. He was hiding when the angel came and addressed him as he was, because God addresses us as we are, not as we see ourselves, but as God sees us. He addressed Gideon hiding, threshing wheat in a wine press, afraid of battle. He addressed Gideon and he says, mighty man of valor. Now, Gideon, not knowing who he was at the time because he was afraid, Gideon said, who, me? Who, me? Mighty man, I'm down here hiding from a war that's raging up there, and I'm hiding. I'm hiding. What do you mean, mighty man of valor? If I was so mighty, I'll be up there fighting. The angel is not going to address your fears. God is not going to address your insecurities. The angel went right around him and was like, yeah, you're going to win this battle. You're going to win this battle. I'm not studying what you see on the outside. I know what God sees. God calls you mighty man of valor. God calls you mighty woman of honor. God calls you mighty. And I don't care what the world says you are. God calls you. And when God calls you, it don't matter what the world says about you. It don't matter what kind of heroin addict you might be, what kind of thought you might be, what kind of man you might be, what kind of deadbeat dad you might be. God knows who you are. It don't matter what the world puts on you. It matters what God says you are. And God will address you right in your low place as the king and queen that you are. That is what God will do. God has said, I'm not even going to address your insecurities. I don't care that they called you a deadbeat dad, that you just like your daddy. So when you get up and you realize that you've been lacking, I am going to fill you up, and you're going to be the best father that you've ever been in your entire life. And I don't care that they try to condemn you and say, you didn't do this, this, and this. He said, from this day forward, you will be better. You will be. I don't care what the world says about you. I don't care what the world says. I don't care if you've been somebody sneaky link your whole life. God says, I am addressing you as a king and a queen and a husband and a wife. I don't care how many beds you laid in. Get up. I am addressing you as such. I don't want to talk about your insecurities. I don't want to talk about your sins. I don't want to talk about your past failures. I don't even want to talk about your right now in the wine press threshing wheat afraid. I'm addressing you as you are. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it no more. That's what the world says. And I'm not going to talk about what the world says, because the world don't want to talk about their own sins. The world wants to talk about you because it's a deflection of what they're hiding on the inside in the first place. Whenever I see people talking about other people, it's because they're hiding something and they're deflecting their own life. And they're afraid to heal their own wounds. So it's easy to talk about somebody else, but it's not easy to go heal the demons that's inside your closet that you're hiding. So it's easy for them to see your insecurities because they're hiding theirs. It's easy for them to see your gaping wound because they're hiding theirs. It's easy for them to talk about you because they're hiding theirs. It's easy for them to hide. Let's go. Verse 10. When my mother and my father forsake me, the Lord will take care of me. When my mother and my father forsake me, the Lord will take care of me. It doesn't matter who abandoned you in this life. It doesn't matter who left you for dead. I'm a firm believer in when people say, well, my mama didn't do this and my daddy didn't do this. They were an incubator to get you to greatness. They had to birth out greatness. They did their job. They were obedient. They pushed you out the womb. They pushed you out the womb. They were an incubator for God's greatness to come out. And baby, you are that greatness. When your mother and your father forsake you, God took you up. Perhaps, just perhaps, God said that you were his in the first place. And they had to get you here to safety. They were an incubator. The mother's womb was an incubator for your success. And she had to push you out of canal. And when you came out, you had devils on each side of you trying to pull you. You had depression. You had oppression. You had molestation. You had abuse. You had all of these things fighting you to stop you from getting to destiny. When you think about it, and you think about Moses and how he was born, and his mother had already had to face adversity from being a slave. She had to put him in a basket because the king, the Pharaoh, had knew that greatness was being born. So she had to put him in a basket and pray over his life and push him down the canal. She was an incubator. She was an incubator for greatness. It had to happen. And when you think about Mary and Jesus and how the king was trying to come get them too, and he had to get high and get to be born in a manger, in a sheep's manger. He had to be born for such a time like this. His mother was just an incubator for success. Greatness was born out of your mother's womb. Greatness was born out of your mother's womb. So it don't matter what they did for you. It don't matter how jealous they might be, what kind of narcissist they might be, how they don't recognize your greatness. So what? God does. So what? God does. It don't matter if your family don't rock with you. God says shake the dust off your feet and keep it pushing. Jesus' hometown didn't recognize him. It said in the Bible that he can do few miracles there. He can do few miracles. And I know it had to hurt Jesus a little bit. Like, dang, I'm over here doing miracle signs and wonders, and my own family don't even recognize me. My own hometown don't even recognize me. It had to hurt. It had to hurt to go into a town after you've done miracles after miracles after miracles. And you get to your own town and you like, yeah, y'all, this is where I'm from. This where I'm from. Yeah, you know, this is my project. You know, I was born over there in a major over there. Yeah, they pushed me out right there. My daddy was a carpenter. He helped build that house over there. He did the lumber. Yeah, this where I'm from. And they said, aren't you the son of Mary? Aren't you Joseph's boy? What are you talking about? You gonna do miracles? You can't do nothing. You ain't did nothing when you was here. You were just a carpenter. You're a carpenter's son. What are you gonna do here, Jesus? I know Jesus' heart had to hurt a little bit. Oh, you a little faith. You don't even know who I am. And I say that about everybody that's ran across you. They might have seen your past. They knew Jesus from the past. They know he didn't do miracles yet. So they don't know what he's talking about. He's going to be the Messiah. They never seen it. So how could he come back and pretend to be something that he ain't in their eyes? So in your hometown, they're saying, who are you? Ain't you sleeping with all these men? Ain't you sleeping with all these women? Didn't you sell dope? Weren't you in debt? Ain't your family from the projects? Who are you? Who are you? Weren't you from fraud? Didn't you do all these things? Who are you? I'm from a small town. My small town don't recognize me. They don't know that I preach. They don't know my greatness. But I'm okay with it. God says, shake the dust off your feet. Everyone sees my past. I was a vixen model. I was in every video, car show. Every bit of my body was spread everywhere. I was viral on Facebook for my body. They don't know the pastor that I am now. But it's not for me to prove. It's for me to shake the dust off my feet and go where God tells me to go. Psalm 68:5. A father of the fatherless and a defender of widows. You didn't have a dad? God says, I'll take you up. You didn't have a mother? I'll take you up. A father to the fatherless and a defender of widows. Your husband died? Okay. God always provides for you. And he'll show you time after time after time. Don't worry about what the world says about you. They don't see your greatness, and that's okay. They don't have to. They didn't see it in Jesus. They didn't see it in Moses. They didn't see it with the miracles. And it isn't for you to prove. If I'm to sign off, it would be, you have nothing to prove. You are great no matter what. They don't have to see it. And don't be mad at your family and friends that don't see it. Understand that they were only the incubator to get you to your success. Your mother, your father, let it go. They had to birth you out. It had to come to pass. Because God said greatness will be born, and then there you were. There you were. And even if you don't see you as great yet, don't worry, it's coming. Don't worry, it's coming. Gideon didn't see himself as great either until God appeared, until an angel appeared. It's coming. Although you may not see the light inside of you, it doesn't mean that it's not going to shine. It doesn't mean that you're not going to shine. I'm going to close off because I got to get ready to go to work. And if this message was a blessing, my link is always in the bio. Go in the strength that you have. God has already paved the way for you. He's already paved the way for you. Now you have to walk through. And if they don't see you, shake the dust off your feet and keep going. You have nothing to prove. Don't you dare argue with people that have their own skeletons that they're hiding. Of course they're not going to see you. It's easy to deflect so they can hide from their own truth. It's easy to say you did this while hiding their own truth. It's easy to say you sleep with this person, you sleep with that person when they just got out of somebody else's bed and picked the phone up to talk about you as they're hiding their own demons. It's easy. It's so easy to hide. Don't worry about what they say. Don't worry about who left you, who abandoned you. Don't worry about the father that was never there. God is a father to the fatherless. God is for you. And if God is for you, no one can be against you. Now go in the strength that you have. I love you all and have a good day. Happy Valentine's Day.